Long-time member of the Patriots organization, Paul Perillo, joins us here in our Town Fair Tire studios. That was Gerard Mayo today when asked how he responds to the fact that Jacoby Brissett went on the radio yesterday and said, yeah, I still consider myself the starter. I'm the starter. And Mayo's response, again, summarizing, was basically, well, that's good that he has an opinion. It doesn't really matter. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, interesting. Does that mean we're going to Drake May? And then he said some things later in the press conference about it being about for the long-term future of the franchise, not just the here and now. And then he also said something along the lines of, in evaluating these guys, it's about the full body of work, the spring and the summer, not just the last couple of weeks, which led me to believe it's May. I'm sorry, Brissett. It's Brissett. So I do think it's Brissett. But either way, Paul, odd that the Patriots are now the last 32 of 32 teams to announce their starting quarterback. And they didn't do it today, even though everybody was in the building. So what do you think's going on here with this?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, and I would definitely say I thought it was odd. I went to that press conference fully expecting him to say, probably Jacoby Brissett, and here's why. This is what we decided, and we're going to move forward, and this is what we're going to go with in week one. I was very surprised when he, off the top, said that he wasn't prepared to do that and wanted to talk to the individuals involved first. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I felt like there was ample opportunity to do that. So I'm not really sure why. And I agree with you. Almost everything that he said after that would point to it's still Brissett. But then I started thinking, I'm like, in terms of talking to the individuals, it might, to me, it's like, if it's Brissett, it's like 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Like, hey, Drake, you're our guy. We love what you did this summer. We think you're getting better every day. It's a matter of when, not if. But right now, we feel like Jacoby puts us in a better position with his experience, blah, blah, blah. And done. But if it's May, doesn't it require a little more explanation to Brissett?
This is Jimmy Stewart's philosophy.
Did you have a rant? I love his
It wasn't quite a rant, but...
No, like it would take a little bit more.
That's because my Bedard rants.
Right?
No, I'd say unlike the people that cover the team, Jimmy has a little bit of edge with this whole thing. Fair enough?
Yeah, I would say so. Because the people who cover the team, they're compromised because everybody's being nice to the beat guys now.
What is that called? Hush money.
Oh, yeah. Total hush money.
I love when it's hush money.
Oh, Mayo talks to me now off the record, on the record.
But if
He's
it's
nice
May,
to me. He's
like, don't you
polite
have
to
to have...
So I'll be nice in return and won't ask any hard questions.
Right. Moving on now.
It's a hostile environment.
All
right. Wait. No, it's not.
It's not a hostile environment.
Not
right
anymore.
Now.
Not anymore.
It's Sunshine Day.
But I do wonder, with Gerard, and I think he has been great with us, and we all have enjoyed the change. It's been a change, let's face it. But I do wonder if maybe like the era of transparency is come and gone to the end of training camp, because I was really surprised today.
Well, the thing is, the first thing I thought of is, because I checked the media schedule today, just to find out what time he was talking, so to plan out the show. When am I going to find out about the quarterback? Oh, he's speaking at 1:15. Good, we'll have it by showtime. But in looking at that, I looked at the week. He's not scheduled to talk tomorrow. And you told me he's not scheduled to talk the rest of the week.
He's not scheduled to. Now, that could change. Who knows? Now, maybe if he decides he's going to make the announcement tomorrow, maybe they'll say, Gerard Mayo will be available. But he is not on the schedule as of now.
But this is a crap Belichick pulled all the time.
Right.
Do the press conference, and then conduct the transaction after the press conference where you're not scheduled to speak until post-game Sunday, and you don't have to answer for it.
Yep.
And that's,
He did it all the time. Bill did it that way all the time.
All the time. And when I saw that, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, oh, they're still playing this media game. Because why? They don't want Gerard to say something wrong? Or they don't trust him to deliver the message properly? Or FU media? Like, they're not the FU media people anymore. So, like, I don't get why they'd be playing that game. But it is the first thing I thought of.
I don't get it either. We'll see. I don't know if we'll find out before tomorrow. I'm also kind of had that in the back of my head. If
we raised this earlier,
if one of the national guys comes out and tweets it tonight, is that going to be the way it unfolds? I don't. I'd like to think Patriots.com could break it, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
You don't get paid by. You're not they don't receive money from you. They receive money from like ABC, ESPN. They receive money from NBC and these places. So treat the information as a piece of currency and take care of one of your broadcast partners because they're paying you.
Yeah, you're not a rights holder, Paul.
You're not paying them squat.
That's for sure.
You have no rights.
So is that one of those things too? Where tonight we get a tweet from Schefter or whatever, as the case may be.
I bet you in this
I'll be looking. I'll tell you that.
I bet you in this case they play it on the level. that they announce, they tell the team, Mayo tells the team, and then it comes out. It might come out through someone else after that, but I doubt it'll be tonight. That's just my 2 cents. Paul, how do you
I hope you're right.
How do you think the decision was made?
I think that Mayo, we argued about this a little bit last week. I think Mayo has more to do with this than you guys give him credit for. I mean, obviously, he wants to keep stressing the voices, right? There's a lot of voices that are involved, but I think ultimately he has the final say on who's on the field. I think this is Mayo's decision. Now, he said it a couple of ways today.
It was
ultimately it's my decision.
It was a little too obvious for my liking,
Well,
Paul.
because I think he heard people sort of take him out of context. This is what I argued with you about last week.
I think they didn't like the way it was being portrayed.
By you.
And
you.
Lombardi.
Among others.
Then why last Wednesday did Mayo say, quote, I would say by Monday night we should know who the quarterback is. I think Monday, Tuesday, we probably should know who the quarterback is. Now, that doesn't mean I'll tell you on Monday or Tuesday, which he didn't. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday. We should know, not
right, because
I.
I think he's being honest there. I think he is talking to Alex Van Pelt and probably Ben McAdoo and Elliot Wolf. And
ownership.
There's a collaborative there. And I'm not going that far. And I know, we're just sort of poking at me on that, but I don't really think that that's involved. I think this is a football decision on the field. And I think ultimately, if Mayo feels strongly that I'm going to go with Drake May, I think it's going to be Drake May.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be Drake May.
I mean, and it could be Drake May, but I think it's because Elliot Wolf changed his mind, and John Kraft changed his mind,
or a majority of them did.
Right, exactly. So what I think is that they've empowered Elliot Wolf, and they came up with a plan based largely on 2 things, maybe 3, but one being Elliot Wolf's experience in Green Bay, where all 3 of their Hall of Fame. Jordan Love's not yet in the Hall of Fame, but he might be. But their 3 quarterbacks all sat. And Brett Favre even sat his first year in Atlanta and was start on the bench in Green Bay. So the Green Bay experience, that's where Elliot Wolf comes from. So that's his idea. They're probably a little scarred from the Mac Jones thing. So if this is going to be a bust, let's not bust out right away or whatever. Let's be slow and cautious with the guy, and then maybe just the player himself. Like the scouting report on May is that he was more of a prospect and a project than these other guys. So those combination of factors led Wolf and everybody to say this is the plan with Drake May. And the Crafts have empowered Elliot Wolf to be the front man, to be that guy. And they all agreed to it, including Gerard Mayo. And that's what they're doing. And if Gerard Mayo changed his mind here in the last week, he's not going to be able to get his way.
What would be interesting?
Unless Wolf changes his mind.
And that'll be interesting, too, the way you put that, because I would be surprised if we didn't hear from Elliot Wolf this week, too. I mean, they just made, their roster cuts. Generally, the personnel guy speaks at that time of year. So I would think that we would hear from – he's not scheduled to speak either. He's not on the media schedule, but I wouldn't be surprised if we heard from Elliot Wolf at some point this week, and that would just fan the flames for you guys saying, well, of course they put Wolf out there because he's the one who made the decision. I don't think it's him. I think Wolf had the decisions on the roster, and that's why they'll make him available now, because they just cut down to 53, and I think he has a huge part of that. He had final say in the 53. I think Gerard Mayo has the final say as to who's on the field.
Okay, so to that point, let's just say that they're sitting in a room, and I'm going to make this simple and easy just for the sake of discussion. Okay, Mayo, Elliot Wolf, Van Pelt, and Jonathan Kraft. Okay, they're all sitting in a room. They all want Brissett to start except for Mayo. Who starts?
They all want one.
They all want Brissett except for Mayo.
So how strongly does Mayo feel about it? I think if Mayo feels strongly about it, it's Mayo.
So look.
I don't.
I don't think Jonathan Kraft is in that room at all anyway.
Okay, take him out.
But I feel like if Mayo feels strongly about what personnel is on the field, that's what the personnel is going to be. Now, doesn't mean I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're right about the whole team except for one piece. This piece. Yeah, this was a organizational collaborative decision about what they were going to do.
Out of the gate. I think they set the groundwork. This is the other thing I was going to ask you. How long has this plan been in place? And at what point will they, are they ready to deviate from it? Which brings in a whole different thing. But who runs the meetings, Paul? When they're sitting in there talking about it, who's running it?
Mayo.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's the head coach.
I think it might be Wolf.
I don't think Wolf has as much to do with X's and O's as you think he does. I think Wolf is just talking about personnel.
But I'm talking about
I'm not
who
talking
plays.
about who's on the field.
I'm just talking about May. It's not about
So-
who plays. The 52 out of 53, you're right. The 53rd is a special case.
Yeah, and again, I'm not telling you. I don't have any. No one said to me like definitively, this is the way it is.
Listen, Paul,
you have it.
Does Mayo have it in his contract? Like Elliot Wolf probably does it. I have say over the 53, and Mayo in his contract it says I determine who plays. He might contractually have that thing, but then that's what it would take. We has to slap his contract on the table, and it's like it's gotten to that point. Like so, I don't
the contract.
I don't think they're at that state. You know, I think
You might be right. You guys might have it. I'm not telling you definitively that. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm not telling you that I'm right.
And I think Mayo is, accepting of the landscape, of it is what it is.
So let me ask you guys this: do you think that maybe, like earlier in the week, Mayo came out and made that comment about, he felt like May had been playing, but do you think maybe he is kind of leaning to May?
Yeah,
and getting some pushback.
I do.
And he's intentionally kind of putting some of these things out.
Yeah,
there.
I think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to just settle down, Drake. Where he's trying to nudge the thing along, or he's trying, like if it were up to Mayo, I think you would start the kid because Mayo's like, which is easy for him to say. Like he doesn't have to go and teach him all those plays and like all the cadence and all the crap. Like that's your job. You get this kid ready. He's better. So it's easy for the head coach to say to the head coach, offensive coordinator, the OC, like get him ready. Yeah, he's better. And the OC looks at him and says, well, he half the time in the huddle he can't get the play out right. So I can see that sort of back and forth going on there.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.